What's up, YouTube family? This is your boy JJ again. Like I promised, this is going to be the video on MEPS and what you can expect. PJ, go upstairs, okay? I'm making a video. I'm babysitting for my sister, my little nephews. What you can expect at MEPS. Let me just first state that I went through MEPS for the Army at Fort Meade in Maryland. I always rep Baltimore. That's where I'm from. Place I love. So whatever branch you decide to go to, you should be in contact with your recruiter, or else you have no reason to be going to MEPS. Once you have a date scheduled for you to go to MEPS, the night before, you're usually going to go to some sort of hotel, so you can leave from there in the morning with everybody that needs to go to MEPS for whatever needs to be done. As far as the hotel, the first time I went was in August, and it was a different hotel than what they currently use. It was more so like a motel. Mario, you gotta go upstairs, okay? Come back down later. I'm gonna do. Okay, but it was more like a motel. But it is what it is. Stop cussing, Mario. It is what it is. In the morning, you'll get a phone call, at least at the hotel for Fort Meade MEPS. That's what they do. They call you in the morning, make sure you're up. I believe that is at 4:15, 4:30ish. You'll go down after you get your stuff together. You go down, you have breakfast. If you're not down there, before I'd say probably 4:45ish, you're not gonna have breakfast. We left the hotel approximately 5:15, 5:30. Got on the buses and went to Fort Meade. Once you get there, you go through a briefing at MEPS, at Fort Meade MEPS. It's Captain Leonard, I believe something along those lines. She'll give her your briefing about what to expect, and from there you'll have a liaison that will come out and ask, get her to do a roll call, make sure you're where you're at. If it's your first time and you're doing the full MEPS, ASVAB, TAPIS, and the full medical, then most likely you're going to be in a large group. You're going to be going down and doing everything with everybody. First thing on tap for me was the ASVAB. A lot of people seem to stress over the ASVAB for some reason. I took it and got a 98 on it. So I pretty much have my pick of jobs. I thought I wasn't, but that's another story for another time. Got 98 on that. After you take the ASVAB, that was probably about an hour and a half. After you take the ASVAB, I took the TAPIS immediately following it. Same room, same testing environment, at the same computer. The TAPIS, from what I hear, is to gauge your personality, what they can expect from you, as long as you don't, tell a lie. The questions entail asking, if you're stressed, would you kill yourself? Things along those lines. After the TAPIS, that's when things slow down. The medical portion began. They send you down to the actual medical room after you've, gone to you go to the control desk, which is where they, if you, in between the different phases, that's where you go reporting, and they get your stuff, and they give you your folder for what you're going to need for medical. When you go to medical, they're going to check your eyes, ears, and that's just the random, run-of-the-mill type of stuff they do at the beginning part. After you do that, you will have to, in no particular order, you have to do a urinalysis. You go into a small little bathroom with a window on one side, a row of urinals on the other. They'll go in with a group of other guys, whip it out, give them your sample. They'll test it with a little stick, and they'll send some off to, for them to, run further tests, more in-depth tests, and that's done. I got a lot of gas today, y'all. Sorry. After you do your urinalysis, like I said, it's no particular order. For me, I went and did the medical and psychological screening, history, something along those lines. At Fort Meade, it's a little Indian lady. She goes through your folder, what you said, and she highlights anything that may present a problem. For me, I had some tickets that all came at the same time, or some traffic offenses. Even though they were all cleared, it looks bad. It looks bad on paper, and the douche of a chief medical officer had already seen it. Her job really has no point but to make you nervous and stress. And she's a really evil lady. You know, she comes through, you know, and she tries to embarrass you and doesn't like you to talk and the thing. But I mean, she can't make you not talk. I mean, you're still a civilian at this point. I mean, you haven't enlisted or anything. So once you get done with that, you're gonna have, you know, your actual physical. You're gonna check everything, you know, over your body, go over your records, ask you questions, check your mouth, your ears, your you know, your muscles. It may do the little thing where he taps you on your knee. I'm not sure, the reflex test. Checks your area. You know, make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be, anatomically correct. Then once you have that done, he's gonna do what everybody fears. They think that you're getting some type of prostate exam. He tells you to turn around, bend over, and he didn't tell me to spread my cheeks, but I've heard of other people being told to spread their cheeks. He's just checking to make sure you don't have any hemorrhoids or any type of rectal problems. He's not going to touch it or nothing. He's just going to look, and he's not going to take a whole lot of time. Actually, the doctor that was at my MEPS, I went to school and graduated the same class with his son. So that was interesting. But he graduated from a rival school, so I thought he was going to fail me. But no, he was a really cool guy. Dr. Evans. After that was done, I actually had blood drawn earlier. You do have to do the blood test, and once you're done with that, you go into the room where they check your range of motion and your flexibility. That's the duck walk. I'm going to try to make a video later on showing you what the duck walk entails, you know, what you have to do. But basically, you go into a room with a bunch of guys. I think there's room for maybe 18, 20 people. You have a hook. They tell you to take off your clothes. They do height, weight measurements, and then they have you do different tests. For example, if you can see, they'll have you hold your hand straight out, bend it down, bend it up, to the side like that, and a number of other tests. Bending over, different what you could consider stretching movements. And then there's the duck walk. And a lot of people have problems. I had problems with it. If you're not a flexible person, it's going to be a problem. If you have really any muscle on you, it's going to be difficult. Just because you have to get into a position that's not natural. I guess I'm going to put a video on later on with the duck walk. Some tips. I didn't pass it the first time I tried. I had to do it twice. And the longer you do it, the more fatigued your leg gets, and the harder it becomes. But after you get done with that room, and you have everything that needs to be done, you meet with the chief medical officer. The chief medical officer is the person that in the end has to sign off on it, saying that you are medically and physically qualified to be in your branch of service. Take that upstairs, y'all. Take that upstairs, okay? Go upstairs. When if you had any problems, if you failed a vision test, depth perception, hearing, hearing, they put you in a booth, and you have to listen for tones, and if you hear it, you have to press a buzzer. It's kind of difficult. I'm gonna give you some tips and I'm gonna give you some tips and strategies on that later on, as far as the hearing test. But when you meet with the chief medical officer, if you have failed anything, they're going to make you come back at another point in time and retest in whatever, it is. If you failed the ASVAB, that's it. They're going to make you go home, wait, come back at another time, and retake it. if you didn't pass the duck walk, you have to come back down and retake it. Be qualified in that test in order to be eligible to join, your branch of service. Unfortunately for me, it was those traffic infractions that were thrown out in court. They looked bad. I had to go back and get a psych consult, which is speak with a psychiatrist, and they'll, and he asked me a series of questions, and I just answered the questions. I explained what happened. He understood, had the chief medical officer not been a douche, he would have listened to what happened, and he could have, thrown it out and ignored it. But he's an asshole. They're trying to find reasons not to qualify you. They don't want you. They want the best, basically. They want to find a reason for why you can't be in the United States military. They're not there to be your friends. So, essentially, if you get all of that done and you qualify in every position, ASVAB, TAPIS, your physical, height, weight, your range of motions, your criminal background, you should have none, hopefully. Just, pass everything. And if you do that, you'll be eligible to enlist. Simple as that. But like I said, you have to come back. This will be my third trip now that I'm going back to MEPS. And it's the same process each time, except for if you don't go down within 10 days, go back. You have to do height, weight again. Simple as that. And then you correct whatever problem there was. So this is gonna be my third time going down, and I have to wake up, go down to the hotel, wake up early in the morning, all day process. It's long, tiring, a lot of times boring. Breakfast at the hotel is nasty. Lunch at MEPS is horrible. It's just a sandwich, a little sub with nothing on it. But it's not a picnic. It's not supposed to just be, nothing but fun times. You join the military, you get to be tougher, and, understand what you're signing up for. I mean, I'm sorry I'm pacing around. It just helps me clear my head, get thoughts out easier. That was my experience at MEPS. Talk to people that's there. That's the number one thing. Talk to people that's there. Get to know these people. Get to, get comfortable around being with other people, other strangers, because that's what it's gonna be. When you go to boot camp or basic training, it's not gonna be anybody you know. You may know somebody, but the chances are very unlikely. But that was my experience at MEPS. Comment, rate, subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and post them below, or send me a message and I'll answer it, or if need be, make another video. So thanks for the views, and take it easy, y'all, and good luck.